Welcome back to another episode of Thanks for the Consult. I'm Fior. Again with us we have Aaron.
What's up, gang?
And today's guest we have Dalton. Dalton, how are you doing, buddy?
I feel good. I feel like I'm on the news radio, the very conservative one that plays like when you buy it. I don't remember the name of it.
Like NPR?
Yeah, NPR. That's what you sound like. You sound like very professional.
Which I'm sure you know is not accurate.
Very far from the truth.
Before we get into it, there's one guy at work. Every time I follow him, I get in the truck, I turn it on, and NPR is on full blast, and the seat is all the way up, and it's just the bane of my existence. But anyways, Dalton, before we get going, the most pressing question we have, what is your favorite source of caffeine?
Favorite source of caffeine? Well, right now, I'm not drinking caffeine. It's just pure hatred for myself and the world. But when I do drink caffeine, it's the Rise energy drinks. There's 300 milligrams. Pound two of them, you could take on God.
I've never had them. Are they carbonated?
Yes. You're drinking a carbonated beverage right now.
No, sir. 'Tis the rehab version. There's no carbonation.
I know what rehab is. Oh, different rehab.
Different one.
For our listeners, thank you for the consult. Does not endorse caffeine consumption above 400 milligrams as described by the FDA.
Maybe we do. Maybe
you just lost half. You just lost half of your viewers. So the 2 viewers you had, you now have 1.
Here we go. Starting over. So, Dalton, you are a paramedic and instructor, preceptor. You a fireman? I feel like you're kind of a fireman. No.
I mean, I dabbled. I joined, but I was never like active. They kind of knew my name. It was like my dad. Like there was a name. I just wasn't present.
He just wanted a free radio.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. By name only. Perfect. So, tell us about your career a little bit. How long you been doing this?
If I could do the math correct, 8 years this year. I've been doing this lovely career called EMS. 2 years as a paramedic, and then divide the time correctly between EMT and advanced EMT.
Okay,
and then,
that's some hard math.
Yeah, 3 and 3, I guess. Not super hard.
Glad you got through that.
I am far more confident with you mixing meds now. You were able to get through that math.
I asked the patient.
Yeah. Hey,
does this look right?
You know how to do math? I don't
know. This seems like enough. I feel like half a syringe is good.
Yeah. What's 3 milligrams of adenosine going to do? Nothing.
No. But I feel like 24 milligrams might be an issue.
Listen, if you get to the point where you're drawing up enough to make 24, I think we have some problems. What are they, 6 milligram vials?
Just pull a 60 cc syringe.
Yeah, so you're going through more than you should have in your stat pack. Once you break it into the drug box for a med that you would normally give out of your stat pack, maybe an indicator we've gone too far.
When you're calling for backup for more adenosine, I think we've crossed the threshold.
Right. That's problematic. But theoretically, that'll slow you down real nice.
Yeah, you'll never have SVT again.
It'll put you in one of the most stable heart rhythms known to man, asystole. So, Dalton, I've had the pleasure of working with you a few times, and I can only describe the experience as absolute clown shoes every time.
Oh, dude, it's hell, man. It's a horror show.
Personally, I've enjoyed it. Everything from sitting at a post in the ambulance for several hours, and he'll get a phone call from a telemarketer or something, and he plays 4 or 5 characters, keeps it all straight. I had to get out of the truck. I was laughing so hard. It was phenomenal. But and then the calls go clown shoes too. So Aaron, me and Dalton were sitting at the line after he's having this conversation for 14 people with one very confused telemarketer. And we get called E3 eval. Yeah,
Yeah.
eval for police. All right, cool. So we take our time, and it is we could not have been further away from this
You
call.
were in Ross territory at that point. Like we
Yeah.
had to be in neighboring agencies at this point.
Yeah, literally any of our mutual aid would have been closer just because of where we were positioned. Uh, so we get there, and all the cops are standing outside, and there's no person that isn't a cop that we notice. And so we roll up, like, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh, yeah, they're dead. We just need you to go look at them. What?
When like he was dead, like he was like, if I'm not mistaken, he was like in crisscross applesauce on his back, like stiff as a board. Like
Yeah, oh, he for sure died sitting up, and then I'm guessing a strong wind or something came and knocked him over.
the
But
person who
yeah.
murdered him.
Wow.
Crisscross applesauce is a crazy way to describe Rigger.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. It was.
That's some crazy work there, Dalton.
It was a very interesting scene for sure. Not what we were expecting to walk into by any means, but that was just kind of how a shift with Dalton would go. I don't know, just obscure calls turning into even more obscure. So
yeah, that was my most memorable DOA. Yeah.
I'm honored to have been part of it.
Dalton, are you a good dancer?
Am I a good dancer? If you ask my wife, no. If you ask me, I'm good at everything.
So just with the last name like Crump, I just want to know if you live up to the expectation.
I live up to the expectation like Helen Keller can fly a plane. So whatever you think that means, that's what I am.
I think you just made me factory reset.
Yeah, that question kind of made me factory reset, dude. I don't understand it. Does he
You don't know what crumping is?
I don't think the dance move is crumping. I think it's crunking.
No, getting crunk is like Little John, but crump is a style of dance. It's like to the old 90s like hip hop. No. That's why I was excited to have Dalton, is I thought that he'd be able to help us out with it.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, thank you, Aaron, for living up to the fact that every episode you say something that makes people look it up. In most episodes, I have to look it up, so I'll be doing that after we're done here, figuring out what the heck that looks like, and perhaps Aaron, you could master it and show us.
Yeah, probably not.
Like you don't like having fun, but Dalton, tell us about some times that you remember that have left an impression. Something that made you really enjoy the time here in EMS.
Something that did not make me enjoy the time at EMS. So I'll just
we'll start on that end. That's fine.
I'll do the complete opposite of what you said.
Perfect.
Great listener.
I had just yeah. There's a reason my mom hit me. So I'm like, when I mean like I'm brand new to EMS, I am like 2 days into EMS, and I started out working at this like private non-emergency transport service. Won't tell you who, but I'll tell you it's in Homestead. You can figure it out from there.
Yikes.
They have.
What does their name rhyme with? You don't have to do that. I'm just playing.
And they had ambulances like from the 80s. Like their ambulances were like when they were made, I wasn't even a tickle in my dad's nutsack. That's how old they are.
And those are their newest ambulances. Those are the ones they ran. The reserve trucks were even older.
No. Their reserve trucks were like brand new.
That's when they were on reserve.
A different service.
They have sitting in the back, at least when I was there, trucks that were from like 2017. And they're like, no, we don't want to touch those yet. We can get some more mileage out of these ones. So we helped another service that had the VA contract. I think they still have the VA contract, and we were taking someone from the Oakland VA to the Clarksburg, West Virginia VA. It's about like I don't know how much of a drive it is, but it's more than an hour. I know that. It's more than how long it should have been because it felt like forever. Second time I've ever seen a patient, and they were like, oh, you can handle this by yourself. Get him in. The lady looks at me, and she goes, hey, he likes to touch himself. Be careful. I'm like, all right. I'm like,
careful.
I'm like, what do you mean be careful? She goes, well, he can get a little violent with it. I'm like,
projectiles.
I don't was like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah.
And I called my boss. I'm like, hey, boss, like he touches himself and gets violent. And he goes, I kid you not, he goes, oh, well, and hangs up. So we get him loaded and we start driving down and we get through the tunnel. And now we're in the open road. And he looks at me. He goes, young boy. I go, yes. He goes, I'm going to masturbate.
So polite about it.
Courtesy, yeah, courteous warning.
Yeah. And as he's slowly taking his Long John Silver out, I go, could you not? And he goes, I've decided.
I've decided. There's no turning back. We've come
It's
too
already
far.
And so he starts going, and I don't know what to do. They didn't cover this in the JB Learning textbook at CCAC. Like, there was no, when they made special population, there was no chapter of someone masturbating in the ambulance. I was taken aback. So I look at my partner, who is the boss's son, and I go, hey, he's masturbating back here. And my partner goes, well, stop him. I'm like, what do you mean stop? I'm like, what do you mean stop? He goes, smack his hand. I'm like, which one? He goes, the one.
Fair question. But I think you
doing
know
nothing.
which hand.
So I get back there and I decide 18, 20-year-old, however old I was, I'm going to wrestle a man with his dick in his hand.
That's a losing battle.
Yeah.
And I start wrestling with him and he screams at me, let me finish. Let me finish. It's safe to say at some point I realized I'm losing the battle because this man's junk is just all over me.
Uh-huh. He's determined.
So I stopped. I stopped. I'm like, you know what? Fine. How long could this last? So I sit in the airway seat. 30 minutes later, he finally finishes, or what I thought was going to be finished. I go, okay, do you need a towel? He goes, I'm not done, Sonny.
What? How old is this guy?
He's like 60.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what do you mean you're not done? He goes, I'm not done.
He broke it down for you.
As if the words were just hard to understand. Not
this man went for another 45 minutes.
Good Lord.
We get to the Oakland VA, or the Clarksburg, West Virginia VA. We wheel him up to his room. I look at the nurse, and I go, ma'am, he has a habit of touching himself. And she goes, oh, I know who he is. He's bad. And I go, what do you mean you know who he is? He goes, yeah, we got a report on him. I'm like, oh, I'm glad everyone's kept in the loop except me.
Right.
So we leave. I kid you not, 3 days later, he ends up dead. He's on the news because a nurse gave him insulin, and he's not a diabetic.
Jeez.
I'm like, it was the nurse I talked to. I was like, I'm an accomplice to murder.
Well, I mean, there's no way you would have known that she was going to murder him.
I mean, it's the VA. I mean, you could have guessed.
I mean, but she wasn't like, hey, I'm aware. I'll take care of it. Like,
yeah, I just
won't
to
have
this day
to worry about this again.
So did you just kind of resign yourself to the fact that, like, hey, this guy's a veteran, you know, maybe he earned this?
No. Listen,
no,
I don't care how much war you've seen. Don't ever, ever, ever take your penis out in front of me and start beating it like it owes you money.
So there's not enough trauma that would justify that, in your opinion?
No, there's not enough trauma for you to I'm going to call it publicly because I was there. I was not there was no consent for me.
No.
Well, eventually there was because you did let it happen.
I mean,
I don't think that's how it works.
Consent and resigning yourself to your fate are very different things.
Yeah. I was like, his first like 30 minutes, I was like, you know, he's earned it. He's been to war. He has no legs. You know,
what?
He's got one leg.
He has zero.
No, he's got one.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. And I was like, you know what? Maybe he earned one, and he just kept going. After that point, I was like, this is overkill at this point. Like, it's already dead. Like,
so he finished and then restarted.
No, he just kept going.
Oh, interesting.
Well, you can't give out. He's got a never say die attitude.
Well, he did die. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
God rest his soul. I mean, he died probably happy. But
I mean, if that's the kind of stuff that made him happy, I can't imagine he was sad. You know.
Yeah, it was. And I looked at I called my wife. And I go, babe, I don't think I want to do this job anymore. And she goes, why? I go, I just watched a man for an hour and a half, give or take, We've already established I'm bad at math, so I had to think of it.
Yeah. Well, and
And
you're in a high intensity, stressful situation for
I
sure.
I just watched a man jerk off for an hour and a half. And my wife goes, "Oh, well," and hangs up.
I mean, you do have to respect the stamina for an hour and a half.
Nothing you can respect about this situation. I promise you right now, veterans at that moment lost me for their cause.
So anytime you see somebody asking for donations for a veteran's cause, you're like, no, I saw this veteran beat it for an hour and a half. I'm scarred.
I've gained respect back for them.
Oh, okay.
Now, yeah, but in that minute for that rest of the week, because it was on a Monday this started, and I had and for the rest of the week, I was
start the week.
I was like, not for him. I was like, you know what, veterans, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So when he signed your HIPAA form, did you do that prior or subsequent to the transport?
No. The nurse signed it because he didn't wash his hands. He rejected all towels.
Did you sign a refusal for refusing towels?
He literally goes like this. He finishes. We get there. He goes, puts it away. He goes, "Oh well."
Oh. So, Aaron, another caveat here that you may not know is Dalton is like a germaphobe, which
no, not a super bad germaphobe. Just I don't do public toilets.
No, that's reasonable. That's 100% reasonable.
No, he would sooner nearly shit himself before using a public toilet.
No, that's 100% reasonable. I'm with you.
Yeah,
on that. To the point, dude, where it was like news across the organization whenever he finally had to go.
Like they made an announcement about it.
I mean, I told everybody I could get a hold of. That he finally used the
like
there was a company newsletter and they were like, "Hey, just so everybody knows,
we just put it out on the active."
When he's like underplaying it. I went to Puerto Rico for my honeymoon. We were there for 10 days. You know how many poops I took in 10 days? 0.
Oof.
That's how bad it is.
Wait, but like you didn't have a place where you were like staying that was like private?
No, I did. Yeah, it was a hotel. It was a resort. It's very beautiful. I highly recommend it. Stay in Dorado because you're not going to get mugged or murdered,
Right.
like we witnessed. But yeah, I can't do public. I can't do toilets that aren't mine. I have a downstairs toilet. I have my own bathroom in my house. My father-in-law used my toilet. I lost my ever-loving mind because I have a bidet, a heated bidet.
Oh, wait, so you have like the Mac Daddy of like Japanese toilets down there. And you're like, nobody but me can touch this.
and I went to go sit down. Sorry, viewers, I apologize. Audio listeners, I'm mute. Fast forward a minute.
Or just embrace it.
And it wasn't to my setting. It was 2 notches lower than my temperature setting. And I call my wife as I'm on the toilet, mind you. I was too irate. I go, "Did your father use my toilet?" She goes, "I don't know. Ask him." I go, No. I go, "You need to ask him." She goes, "I'll call him and ask." She calls him. She calls me back. She goes, "Yeah, he used your toilet." I go, "Tell that man never, ever, ever use my toilet again."
That must have been an insane phone call for her dad to get.
Yeah, it was. Because he didn't realize how germophobic. I bleached my entire bathroom after that.
Have you put up signs?
I mean, it's just understandable in my household to just not use my toilet. Like I took bleach, and I started throwing it like it was holy water. I was performing an exorcism in my bathroom.
So you've just resigned yourself to this is the only toilet I'm going to use for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Until we move and I have to get comfortable with another toilet.
You could just
take what's the the process of getting comfortable with a new toilet? Do you have to like talk to it like?
Well, just like it's like a hug from a stranger from behind. It's uncomfortable. It might be inviting, and I don't know. It might be inviting. But
so you've never met another toilet that you were like, okay, this one I feel safe.
No.
Sorry to make fun of what is clearly mental illness here, but it is a comical one for the rest of us. But
no, so I get not wanting to use public bathrooms, especially like gross ones. Like, you know, whenever I was in college, I had scouted out where like the good private bathrooms were, and I'd go peep those out like whenever it was time. But like only one toilet is crazy work.
Yeah, it's so bad No, I was at the fire academy. We're doing mod 3. I think it was whatever one you have to climb the 40-foot ladder. I climb up halfway, and I fart.
Oh, it was
was a
beneath
blowout.
you. It was beneath you.
The fire instructor.
Oh,
I'm climbing down. He goes, no, you got to finish climbing. Mind you, we're shouting at this point.
yeah.
I go,
For
I
everybody to
can't.
hear.
Yeah, I go, I can't. He goes, why not? I go, I would rather not say. He goes, then you need to climb. And I'm like, no, I can't. I poop myself. He goes, ha ha ha, very funny. Get on up there.
No, I'm serious.
I'm like, no, I'm serious. He goes, I don't care. I don't believe you. I'm like, okay. So I climbed back up. I was up 20 feet, climbed back down 10. Now I got to climb back up again. And I'm back down. And he goes, like, good job. And then he smells me. He goes, you weren't joking. I go, I wasn't. I go, what part of I'm serious did you not understand? He goes, I heard it before. I go, yeah, I would never lie to you like that with that situation. So he goes, well, we have a bathroom here. You can change. You have a change of clothes. I go, no, I'll go home. I'll be back. So
you earned
we
it at
break
that
for
point.
lunch. Huh?
You earned it at that point.
Yeah. So I go home, I change, and we're breaking for lunch, and my stomach is upset, and I don't know why. It was probably that 7-Eleven pizza I had for breakfast.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You eat recklessly for somebody that's afraid to use a public toilet. Like, you can't, in one hand, be like, I will use one toilet only. And that roller dog's been on the grill for 3 days. I'll give it a shot.
So for lunch, I downed 2 bottles of Pepto Bismol. I chugged it. I was like, you know what? This is it. I chugged it like a 21-year-old on their 21st birthday. Yeah, I do eat recklessly. I'll tell you right now, those 7-Eleven pizzas are delicious.
And
how do you manage the lack of regard for your diet with this situation? Like, that just sounds like a recipe for disaster.
So I've mellowed out in the years. Like I've lost 70 pounds last year. I've mellowed out. Like I've done better, but I just don't care.
You're looking good, man.
Yeah, I literally, I'd say, my wife even says that. She goes, you have such a sensitive stomach and you put everything in your mouth. I go, yep. So I'm lactose intolerant and I'm chugging a gallon of milk at this point. She goes, stop.
A reasonable request.
Yeah. Like, we have to leave the house in the next 2 days. You need to stop.
Well, she's a victim of the circumstances too. It's like, this doesn't just affect you.
Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't really affect me anyway. I embrace the pain.
Okay.
You put on your Goggins glasses and you're just like, get hard.
Yeah. Well, like today, I was sitting at, like it's construction season in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah.
And side tangent. Sorry, viewers. Again, you know who pisses me off? The flaggers.
Okay.
They like aggressively point to where you're supposed to go. Like, hey, twat muffin. Yeah. I know there's only one way I can go. I'm not gonna hit you for $18 an hour.
Yeah. I've always said the same thing. Like, obviously, I'm not going to run you down. Like, if I stop for your sign, obviously, I'm respectful enough not to just mow you over.
And I can see where the other cars are going.
Exactly.
See, I differ on that. I'm contemplating whether I do it or not when I sit there.
But if they don't point aggressively enough, you're like, well, you didn't
Correct.
earn it.
I didn't understand the assignment. You need to earn. This is my taxpayer dollars. You need to earn that $18 an hour. You better be pointing.
But it's always some like person who looks like they just got out of rehab too, smoking like 6 packs of cigarettes, and like looks like they have throat cancer, but they don't know it yet.
Or occasionally there's a really hot chick, every once in a while, and you're like, I think I heard.
I've never seen that.
Well, is she a really hot chick, or is it just she's
for a road worker
dudes doing
for a road worker?
It's like, wow, she's a female. I can tell. So
it's like an LA4, but like that's good for road workers.
That's a construction crew 10, is what you're saying?
Yes.
The bar is so low, you're like, you know what? Whatever.
It's like, if I'm standing next to somebody like really, really fat, then I'm like, oh, I look pretty good.
Yeah, basically what you're saying is I'm not gay, but I'm single.
I'm not. I'm married to a woman, so I'm neither gay nor single.
I am also married to a woman.
Congratulations, fellas.
Not going to refute it. Yeah. Wait, I don't even remember where we got off.
My bathroom habits.
Your bathroom habits, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
what.
is this
That's
like
what your
is this like
audience
your
was supposed to
only
do.
is this like your only germaphobe behavior, or is this like are you the guy who like sprays people with Lysol when they walk in the room?
No. I won't spray you with Lysol. But if I will tell you if I do have to, and it's an emergency, like I'm in pain or like it's gonna come out, and I don't have another pair of underwear.
Not that you just don't want to shit yourself, but if you don't have another pair of underwear, like if you did, you're like, well, it's worth
It's
it.
crazy that that's higher on your rank of choices. Like I would rather like totally crap my pants and then change my underwear than just use a different toilet. That's crazy.
I will deep clean the toilet.
Yeah.
Been deep cleaning a toilet, and we've gotten a call, and I'm like, well, I can't poop.
Yeah.
And
Are
I
you
come
out here
back
like
and
getting
the
like
toilet,
butthole diseases? Do you have like a traumatic experience or something with like a butthole disease?
they're dirty. I have cleaned bathrooms at work where there's poop under the rim.
Oh yeah, it's impressive what people can do.
Like I walked into a public bathroom because I had to pee, and all the urinals were taken, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use the bathroom, and there was poop on the wall behind it.
Huh.
I go, this is why. It like
How?
there's people
Do you-
proving my point.
Yeah.
Do you abide by the even odd urinal rule?
Even odd.
Yeah.
Be there.
I see.
Take
I have
evens
this
or you
theory
take
that like
odds.
most people have never called it a name, but every guy knows the even odd urinal rule. I would like you just take a guess right now at what you think the even odd urinal rule.
Even odd is like, okay, I mean, you just skip a space. That's what the rule is, right? The
That's
unwritten rule
correct.
is you just skip a space. My rule is, what do they look like? And then I'm going to decide. If they're
Right.
LA4, I'm like, I'll sit next to them.
So you got 3 urinals here, all unoccupied. You walk in the bathroom. Which one do you choose?
I'm a menace to society. I'm taking dead center.
Don't you go dead center.
I am making sure someone walks in and they have to. It's a power play. Like I don't have many things going for me powerful wise. Like I'm fat, I got rolls, I got titties bigger than double D's. But I will take someone's willpower away by choosing that middle urinal.
I think
Wow.
when you do it, you have to drop your pants to your ankles while you're doing it. Just like 100%.
Put your hands on the wall.
Yep. Just we're doing this.
So
Yeah,
for those who don't know, common courtesy is to choose an outer urinal, right? So that way when somebody else comes in, they don't have to stand directly next to you, which is why you are a menace to society for doing that.
Yeah. I would like to watch the world burn. As much as I hate confrontation, I will watch the world burn any day of the week.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I can agree with that. I do love a little chaos in life. It really does make the world go around.
Stir a couple pots. That's
Yeah.
how you make stew.
Exactly. So speaking of, I know we've gotten 2 or 3 subjects away, but speaking of patients and their masturbatory habits, I got called to assist police with a 302, and they were like, "Oh, he's got to go in your truck." I'm like, "Why?" I'm like, "Well, he shit his pants. We don't want him in ours." I'm like, "I don't want him in mine either." So my partner decides to agree to this trip. Behind my back, so I'd walked away. I'm like, we're not doing this. You know what I mean? There's no medical need. Your car is designed specifically to just take a hose to it. You're good. He's like, no, we'll take it. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he like goes and brings a stretcher over. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And I was working for a service that ran double medic crews, so it was every other call. So it's my call. And so I end up riding with this guy who there's an officer in the back, dude's handcuffed to the stretcher. He's like, hey, can you take the handcuffs off? I'm like, I don't even know why you are handcuffed, to be honest. Well, he asked. So like I asked the cop, I'm like, can you take his handcuffs off? He's like, I wouldn't. I'm like, why not? Like he's handcuffed because he keeps asking to masturbate. I was like, why do you want your handcuffs off? He's like, so I can masturbate. I was like, I'm gonna have to pass on that, bud.
At least he's
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, they don't let me at the hospital. I was like, have you tried asking nicely? He's like, no. I'm like, all right. Well, when we get there, I'll mention it to the nurse. We get there. I tell the nurse, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna see if this guy wants to take him. And yeah, I guess they uncuffed him and he went to town on himself.
Well, I mean, hey, it keeps him happy.
It does. It keeps him non-violent. He wasn't violent.
Yeah.
You know, he just very polite. Much different than your situation was, for sure.
I'll tell you right now. I need to ask you guys this question because I already know the answer before I ask you. But have you guys ever had a patient poop in your trash can on your ambulance?
No, absolutely not.
Just logistically, how?
I'll tell you how.
You have to give him the trash can.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
I'll tell you. I'm not going to mention names, but you know who you are. I'm going to tell you the true story. He likes it. He likes, huh?
Was the
I'll tell you
vehicle
the story.
moving?
I would hold your horses. So we respond to a crash on the morning. It was a morning crash. We get up, and the fire department had backboarded one of the patients who just complained of neck pain, but she otherwise had no injuries, no loss of consciousness, nothing. And the other guy was her father. He also wanted to go to the hospital, so we transported them both at the same time. One on the backboard who wanted to walk, who was already walking, if I'm not mistaken, and then the father.
Okay.
So we're driving, and the dude looks at me and goes, I have to use the bathroom. And I look at my partner and said, hey, if he has to pee, give him the suction canister.
Not the urinal, the suction canister.
Yeah.
But why?
Because we had used the urinal the call or two prior on the overnight. I just forgot to put it back in.
You are the only person that I know who has ever used the urinal on an emergency call.
Well, it was for me.
Wait, hold on. Back up. Now, so you will not use any other toilet other than the one in your home, but you are willing to pee into a piece of plastic that sits on an ambulance.
Yeah, that's besides the point. And so I get in the driver's seat, I start driving, turn on my music, and my partner calls up to me and goes, hey, Dalton, he really has to go. I use my intercom. I go, well, just give him the suction canister. He goes, okay. So at this point, that's all I know is he's peeing. So we get down to the hospital, AGH. We get out. We take them both in the hospital. He walks in, and then we're cleaning up. And my partner looks at me and goes, hey, I have to change the trash can out. I go, I just emptied it. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I emptied it like on the overnight prior. We hadn't ran a call since like 1 a.m. and I emptied it. He goes, well, he pooped in there. I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, he started explaining how poop works. I go, I know how poop works. What do you mean he pooped in the trash can? He goes, well, the suction canister wasn't big enough.
Gosh.
And I go, what did he wipe with? He goes, he didn't.
There's linens. There's 4x4s. There's so many options.
Yeah. Now, if you know me, I can't do poop.
I hadn't picked up on that.
I can't even smell someone else's poop. I start throwing up. And I didn't believe him. I go,
how do you do this job? There's so much poop in this job. There's so much.
I go, I don't believe you. And he goes, here, look, and shows me.
So then there was puke and vomit in the trash can, I assume.
I started gagging. Dude, I'll tell you, this is how sensitive my nose is. I can do vomit, I can do blood, I obviously can do other fluids. But when it comes to poop, we responded to a call, and this dude was unresponsive on the toilet. We picked him up. He proceeds to finish his bowel movement. I proceed to smell it. Mind you, this is the height of COVID, so we have masks on. I removed my mask. I was like, COVID, I don't know what it is yet. Don't care. Yeah. I'm going to catch it. Turn around. I vomit in his bathtub. I stopped vomiting.
From the hospital.
No, this gets worse. This gets worse. This gets worse. I felt so bad, but I wasn't going to admit it. I still feel bad to this day, but I'm not going to tell the family. His daughter walks in as I'm putting my mask on. Eyes are still watery. And she goes, oh, my dad vomited. I go, yep. And we took him to the hospital.
That's terrible.
I feel bad to this day about it.
I mean, you probably should feel bad about that.
Yeah, it's just, just run the water.
I promptly called my pastor and confessed. I was like, listen, I got to confess. And he goes, please don't.
It's bad when the pastor's like, yeah, I don't know how much more of this I could take.
He sees your name coming up on his caller ID, and he's like, oh no.
I called the church phone. I called the church's phone directly.
That way you can't see it. Smart. Do you think your pastor's gonna end up with a drinking problem because of your confessions?
Oh, I hope not.
Honestly, that'd be impressive if you drive a man of the Lord away from God.
I don't know if impressive is the word of it.
Noteworthy.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's a conversation up at the gates. Be like, you gave to the poor, you fed the homeless, you never called off work, but
that would be again not impressive, but noteworthy for sure. Wow, you are an interesting human being, to say the least.
yeah, my psychiatrist tells me I might have autism.
Wow, whose doesn't? I mean, it's not that bad. You can join the club. We have fun. We have snacks. So, autism.
I like how they say might. Like they're just
Yeah.
tossing it out there, like maybe.
Yeah. Well, he looks at me. He goes, "I want you to get this test." And I go, "Why?" He goes, "Because I think you have autism."
Yeah.
I go, "No, I think I'm just stupid." Not calling people who are autistic stupid. Let me put that prep. I go, "No, I just think I'm just dumb and don't know how society works." He goes, "Okay, we'll still go get the test." I go, "No." He goes, "Why?" I go, "Because what?" I go, "Listen, I'm 26. I've had fun kind of this far."
Are you afraid of the truth, Dalton?
I think he is.
No.
Yeah.
Listen.
I mean, I found out in my 30s, and it hasn't changed anything. So, but apparently that line between ADHD and autism is very wavy and very
Yeah.
blurry.
It's like the line between OCD, autism, and ADHD is very, very gray, and it just waves back and forth. It's like a Geiger counter at a nuclear plant.
Hey, why don't you at me next time, buddy? If you're gonna talk about me, at least at me.
Well, I feel like, Dalton, you need to get the test just for my own morbid curiosity. I don't know why.
Let me tell you, side note on UPMC, screw you, UPMC. I don't condone
That's
what
actually a
happened to
sponsor of our podcast, is UPMC.
Well, this will never come out. I don't condone what happened to that healthcare CEO in New York. I don't condone it. Like, it's so sad someone lost his life. But UPMC won't even cover the test. I'm like, how much is the test? He's like, oh, $2,500. I go, no.
I guess it's not $2,500 worth of curiosity.
I'm like, I could just take a quick Google test and it could tell me.
Why?
You're like, I'm also going to figure out which celebrity lookalike I look most like at the same time.
Yeah, it just pops up Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, man. We are definitely not getting sponsored after this one.
This will be the final episode
of the season.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. I could see how I would probably not pay $2,500 to find out information that would change absolutely nothing other than
also it's an 8-hour long test.
Yeah, no, I know.
And I'm like, I didn't want to go to school for 8 hours. I love my job, but I don't even want to be at work for 8 hours.
What's crazy about that is, like, right now I'm studying to take the MCAT, and the MCAT is like pretty ubiquitously recognized as one of the most difficult long exams, and that's only 7.5 hours. So your test is essentially harder than the MCAT.
Yeah. Well, I think
the reward at the end is you're either autistic or you're not. Not you get to go to medical school or you don't. It's just you have autism.
Yeah. Yeah. It would change nothing to the point of the fact. Like, here's the thing: even if they were like, "Oh, Dalton, you have autism," like, I could never like claim it on anything. I'm like, no, like one of my best buddies in the whole world, autistic. He can claim it. Phenomenal singer. Dalton, I can't claim it. I have horrible facial hair. I look like I'm 7 months pregnant. I had nothing.
If you were autistic,
going for me.
If you were autistic, what would be your savant trait?
Trait? What do you mean?
Well, so you know how like there's some kids who are like
toilets.
severely autistic, who they're like, oh, I can tell you what day of the week it was, any date in history. Like you could be like, what day of the week was it on February 3rd, 1463? And they're like, oh, that was a Wednesday. And you look it up and you're like, it was a Wednesday, wasn't it? What's your version of that?
What's my version of that? I'm weirdly it's cooking. It's very specific, and I could tell you, I can rattle off a recipe to the T, like right now, like a recipe I use. I could tell you cups, tablespoons, anything like that. Yeah, make it once, it's in here. Learning medications, it's like, figure it out.
For those of you wondering, February 3rd, 1943 was a Wednesday.
Was it really?
That's what Google says.
I don't think they had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and 14 whatever.
They just had dead and not dead yet.
I did 1943. You said 1493.
1443. It doesn't matter.
That was a Friday, but wait, it returned.
Are we going on the Gregorian calendar?
I don't know. It says January 25th was a Friday, but I asked for February 3rd. So
the most accurate calendar we have, the Gregorian calendar so far.
So that's your artistic trait. You know about calendars.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gregorian calendar was created by the Catholic Church to break away from Rome, and they were like, well, none of this adds up. We have the Jewish calendar that uses the lunar cycle, and they did the math, and then they shifted some things around, and it was also because it was inaccurate. That's how we have leap years nowadays. It's very simplified, and they came up with the Gregorian calendar. The Pope did, actually. And yeah, it's the most accurate calendar we have to this day.
I'm assuming it was probably Pope Gregory.
Sure.
Just a guess.
He had a good friend named Greg, and he was just like, shout out.
Yeah.
That was his version of adding him. I'm gonna name this calendar after you, bro. Oh man. How did we get to calendars?
I think this is a good substitute for the test that Dalton was supposed to take.
Yeah, we can't
I think we confirmed it.
Or space. Space is like also my savant trait as well. I could tell you like what star is what.
What's the fifth planet in the solar system?
Jupiter.
Do I need to?
Because Mars is 4. And then you have the asteroid belt, which is like millions of miles. It's not like super tiny, but then you have Jupiter, and then you have Saturn, and then you have Pluto at the very end, who's not a planet anymore.
Jupiter is.
Are they talking about bringing it back though?
No. It hasn't. It's smaller than our moon, and hasn't even created.
No. I know that they declassified it, but I was reading recently that they're like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna bring that back. We miss it.
No. They're definitely not going to bring that back. I mean, it didn't go away. It didn't go out for milk and not come back. It's still in orbit.
I mean, it might leave us. It might just be like, I'm sick of you guys. You don't even recognize me. I'm going to go find a solar system that loves me. You're not my real solar system.
Ironic that we've spent a lot of this podcast talking about Uranus and Uranus.
Dalton, it's definitely fun chatting with you. But tell me what's going on now, man? How you liking your new role here, your new gig, teaching, instructing, shaping the minds of the youths?
Oh boy, it's interesting. It's interesting. I'll tell you right now. I was a full 100% believer. There are no stupid questions. I have leveled out that belief. Last semester, a student looked at me as we were covering childbirth, and she goes, so when did we just yank the cord out of the belly? I go, never.
Yeah.
I go, never. She goes, oh, but we yanked the placenta out. I go, no. I dismissed class at that moment. I go, class dismissed.
Yeah, we're done for today. No more learning can take place.
Law of diminishing returns.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting with a bunch of people who are like, oh, I love EMS. And I tell them, I go, listen, a lot of this is just assisting old people. We're like AARP, but a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
And they'll go do their ride-alongs. And I'm like, hey, how's your ride-along going? They're like, horrible. I go, why? Because we did 6 lift assists the other day. I go, I told you this was happening.
Yeah. The unfortunate part of this job is everybody gets into it for the adrenaline fueled guts and glory calls, and the reality is we spend more time holding hands to the hospital or picking you up off the floor or getting you from the toilet to the bed or whatever. But
I told someone, and I was like, listen, for 90-year-old grandma Deborah getting off the ground is an emergency. Gravity hates her.
Yep.
Right? When grandma gets punched in the face with dementia and is out in the street naked at 3 a.m, that's an emergency.
It is. It's just not the ones they show on TV.
Punched in the face with dementia is a bar.
Dude, I'll tell you, the drunkest person I've ever had was a 90-year-old woman who had dementia. We take her to the hospital, and the hospital tells me, she goes, "Hey, you want to know what their blood alcohol was?" I go, "Yeah, what?" They go, 0.583.
That means she's more than half alcohol in her blood. More than half of the fluid circulating in her system is alcohol.
I go, "What do you mean?" And they go, "That's not that much." I go, "No, that means you're an alcoholic."
Yeah. You could distill her blood and get a very formidable alcohol
I
content.
was like, she's 90. 0.583 should not coexist right now.
It's amazing that she lived.
Well, she fell in a Giant Eagle parking lot, and she was trying to find her Cadillac that she doesn't own because her car key was a Subaru. And she goes, "That's not mine." I go, "Whose is it?" She goes, "I don't know."
Wait, so at 90, she's still driving?
No, she wasn't, because there's not a Subaru in the parking lot. We found out her daughter impounded her car.
Okay. Was it a Subaru?
Yeah, it was a Subaru. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a Subaru Crosstrek.
Grandma
America's
parties.
economy car.
Yeah.
Wow. She sounds like a lot of fun. Honestly.
That was, I'll tell you right now, that was one of the most eventful calls I've had. And then you had the weekend of St. Patty's Day where I was molested. Yeah.
By whom?
Apologize for that many times, Dalton.
So I work the Saturday overnight and the Sunday, the day before St. Patty's Day. And I'm gonna explain to you my night. We pick up a couple of friends, or two drunk dudes. We put one in the airway seat, the stretcher. And his buddy's like, "Can I ride up front with you?" I go, "Yeah, that's fine, whatever." Get him in, shut the door, go around, start driving. And he goes, "Man, thank you so much for letting me drive with you." "No, not a problem." He goes, "You want a hand job?" I go, "No, I don't." And so he sees my wedding ring and he goes, "Oh, are you married?" I go, "Yeah." And I go, "My wife and I will celebrate 2 years this July." He goes, "Oh, that's awesome." He goes, "You want a congratulatory hand job?" I go, "No, I don't. I've already told you this." So we're driving and he's like, "Do you have any kids? You want kids?" I'm like, "Yeah, maybe I want some kids in the future." And he goes, "Oh, I have 2 kids. They're the best thing in my life. They make me so happy. But you know what makes me happier?" He goes, "Hey, job, you want one?" And I go, "No." So we get to Passivant.
Why is this guy trying to sell his hand job so vigorously?
So we get to Passivant and he gets out of the ambulance. He goes to shake my hand. I go, "I don't know where that hand's been."
I can assure you it's been.
At any point, did you consider taking him up? Like, because if he's this adamant, maybe he's the GOAT.
Maybe. I wasn't going to find out. I was not going to be the LeBron or Michael Jordan debate with his hands. So we get into Passivant, drop that guy off, and then I walk in and I'm like going to go get cranberry juice out of the patient fridge.
Okay.
And
odd detail.
And I walk past the room and I hear, "Yoo-hoo!" She's like, "Yoo-hoo!" I turn around and says, "All right." She goes, I go, "What's up? Is everything okay?" And she just flashes her titties and shakes them.
Oh.
I'm like, "Okay." So I get my cranberry juice. I leave. And then my next call, we get there. And I'm like, "Sir, what seems to be going the problem?" And he goes, "My wife won't shut up. Take her to the hospital."
How old is this person?
90? He's old.
Okay.
He's old.
Was he correct?
Yeah.
Would she not shut up?
She was coughing because she has bronchitis.
Okay. Fair enough.
And she also...
I thought she was just nagging him.
No. And she got hit by She got hit by a car of dementia.
Oh.
So we get her to the hospital.
Probably that's why they took her Subaru away.
And then we go back out and we get called for a fight. And so we show up, take that guy to the hospital, take his wife with him. Wife is drunk and in a full body one piece suit that you can see through.
How old?
40.
Okay. So okay.
Old enough to know better.
Yeah.
So
Certainly old enough to have a mirror in the house that they could
I
have looked at.
I literally have to hold her up to walk into past me, and she looks at me. She grabs my face and tries to kiss me. I go, no, 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 no. She goes, I want to kiss you. I go, well, you see that security guard? He wants to kiss you.
Oh,
She
passing the
magically,
buck.
she magically could walk after that.
Yeah, amazing.
Drop him off. Then I get to sleep for like 6 hours. Great.
Okay.
7 a.m. Go to a nursing home for this dude who is having vertigo and anxiety. And the staff are like, we can't move him. We can't move him. So I grab him, bear hug him. He grabs my scrotum and holds on like Jack held on to Rose in the Titanic. I get him on to the stretcher and he's squeezing. I'm like, let go. He goes, help me.
How many seconds in are we at this point?
We're like 30 seconds in.
That's
a lot.
Are you not screaming in pain at this point?
I'm just screaming at my partner, get the Versed, please.
I appreciate the dedication to the craft that you're like, I'm not going to fix my problem right now. I'm going to, you put that Kobe mentality on. You were like, job's not finished.
Oh, I wasn't, there was nothing that was going to get this man to let go. I had mashed potatoes down there. That's how bad he squeezed. So I gave him the Versed. He promptly stops doing what he's doing, get him to the hospital. And I kid you not, slept for 8 hours with 1 milligram of Versed.
Let me ask you this. On that shift, was there a singular call where you weren't molested or sexually assaulted? No.
Well, on that shift, yeah, later on, we respond to the police station in Bellevue for someone. I don't know if I can talk about it. It's not technically a crime anymore. Well, it still is, but I'm not involved.
Don't use names. How about that?
I'm not. And this dude decided he was going to get into a knife fight with someone who had a gun.
That probably didn't work out well.
So he gave the guy who had the gun like a paper cut on his chin. Perfect. He missed and then ran. So we show up because we're there for an eval. The cop opens the door. We hear him screaming from the ambulance outside. I go, is that him? He goes, yeah, he's fine. So we walk in, dude screaming. He goes, I don't know what to do. I murdered someone. I go, I promise you did not.
Wow.
He goes, I'm not going to do well in prison. And the cop goes, I mean, you're going to do someone well, but you won't do. Yeah. That was that shift. That was the only guy who did not try and molest me.
Well, I mean, at least you had one,
Yeah.
But last thing, is there anything you want to say, get out there, and leave the listeners with as we kind of wrap up today?
Oh, yes. Don't subtract or add from the population. But if you do, tracking's a hell of a lot easier to chart.
Well, Dalton, thank you for coming on here today and sharing your magical stories.
I feel like we've really gained an intimate knowledge of who you are.
I know.
Yeah, your listeners are gonna be like, I'm never listening again.
I'm thinking this might be one of the highest rated episodes. I don't know. But Dalton, thank you for the consult, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. If you are interested in being on the show, please email us at thanksfortheconsult@gmail.com.